Alrighty, what is going on, everyone? My name is Garen Belmont. How y'all doing today? So, in today's video, I wanted to do an end of the year review for Wayfinder. I should have made this video a couple of days ago, but procrastination. You guys know the drill. But before we do that, I want to say thank you for an amazing 2023. I did not expect the channel to do as well as it did. I kind of went into covering Wayfinder content willy-nilly. I just kind of came out of the blue, out of nowhere, and started, posting videos for the game before we got early access. Yeah, I was genuinely shocked that things went as well as they did. And even though I started out with a shitty mic that I was using for my headset, eventually I did get a better mic, but I started out very sloppy, and I'm still trying to improve. I'm still very sloppy. I'm just a naturally sloppy person. So, but the fact that we've grown as much as the fact that I've grown as much as I did is incredible, and I want to take the time to say thank you guys for an amazing 2023. This is my last video 2023. I'm going to get this video made, edited, uploaded as fast as possible. So but yeah, so I wanted to do an end of the year review for the game, just for fun, not to be, this is, I guess you could say, kind of similar to my Wayfinder heading in the right direction, only this time we're going to be a little bit more detailed, a little bit more in depth, and talk about also some of the negatives. So when Wayfinder came out, the best way I could describe it was, and I believe this is something I said in my first impressions video, was Wayfinder was a blank canvas. It wasn't, it wasn't amazing, but it wasn't horrible. And I think for a lot of people, their negative opinions of the game came from the server issues, as well as the wait times, queue times, stuff like that. And that's completely understandable. But in right now, Wayfinder is in a much better spot with the server stability. It's still not perfect, but it's definitely a lot better. There's still stuttering, stuff like that. There's still disconnects. I still get disconnected every now and again when I'm playing the game, but for the most part, it's pretty decent. Not only that, I felt I was still motivated to make videos for the game, but I wasn't as motivated. And a lot of problems with that just came from the fact that even though I play Wayfinder, even though I play the game, I do not put as much time into this game as you guys might think. And the reason for that is because I'm very much someone who, I kind of just play what I want. In my spare time, I play what I want, and then if I'm playing Wayfinder, I'll record clips, some B-roll footage that you guys will see in the background of my videos, and that's really it. You know what I mean? I play other games. I've been getting into Path of Exile. I play Final Fantasy XIV. I play World of Warcraft. I play World of Warcraft Classic. I play Overwatch 2, and every now and again, I'll just pick up a random game that I haven't played in a while, and I'll play that. I've been playing Elder Scrolls Online recently. I've kind of replaced World of Warcraft with Elder Scrolls Online, trying to understand that game and stuff. But you guys get the point. I think a big deterring factor with the game for me was the fact that the leveling experience for the game was fucking god awful. I don't, if you genuinely think that the leveling experience wasn't that bad, there's something wrong with you. There's something genuinely wrong with you. I'm not trying to be mean, but there's something wrong with you. The leveling experience was a big deterrence that I had from playing the game, because it really made it feel like that I couldn't try out the weapons that I wanted. It made it so that I couldn't try out the Wayfinders that I wanted, and it made the gameplay feel very repetitive, playing the same Wayfinder, playing the same weapon for 10 hours, 20 hours, 30, 40, 50, 60, 100 hours. It really made the game feel not that good. And they solved this. They added a 300% XP buff to not only Wayfinders but also weapons, and also the reward tower, which is the battle pass in the game. They have made a lot of great changes with this game, and I'm gonna mention some of them. One of the things that they added that I was huge advocate for is the fact that they went back and they kind of reworked visually some of the expeditions, some of the lost zones, and they look a lot better. They're bigger. They feel more grandiose, I guess you could say. Like, okay, this is definitely the boss room. You know what I mean? Kind of areas, and I think that was overall really, really good. This is something I didn't even notice until semi recently. A little bit before I made the Wayfinder heading in the right direction video. And I think this is so nice that they are going back and they are putting in that work to redo those things. Not only that, they also made improvements to the UI. I feel like the UI looks a lot better. It still could use some improvements. I still think it feels a little bit inconsistent, considering, when you look at like the weapon UI when you're going to craft weapons, and then you compare that to the UI of like when you're crafting accessories, compare that to when you're crafting elixirs and shit, potions. It feels a little inconsistent, so I would like to see a little bit more consistency with that. But overall, I think this is a great start with... Okay, I am so sorry. Police sirens went off. Or it was ambulance, I don't know. All I know is sirens went off, and you could clearly hear it, and I kind of like stopped because I was like, okay, that, of course that happens when I'm recording. So yeah, but yeah, I think it's overall a great start for the game. I think that's what I was saying in the middle of that. But yeah, another thing that they've added that I think is just definitively good is just more content. Like just straight up more content for people to play, for people to earn. They've added new weapons. They've added new hunts. They've added new bosses. Reaver King, the fucking giant plant motherfucker, the giant like golem plant motherfucker. What else? They added the whichever one is the one that they added when they added the is it the Mauler? Fuck. I'm sorry, my brain is fried right now. I just got off work. But they've added a lot of new, actual new content. Players can now actually earn, like, cosmetics and stuff just by playing the game. If you go to the helper coin vendor, I think his name is Wolf, you can earn, helper coins by doing the helper queue, and you can spend those coins on cosmetics, dyes, stuff that you might need for awakening your Wayfinder, or crafting a Wayfinder. I think this is overall a great start for early access. I think this is a great start. I would like to see more like weapon skins, Wayfinder skins and stuff like that people can purchase. I think that will also be great incentive to get people to play the game more. But yeah, I think it's a great start. Another thing that they've added that I was really happy about was the fact that they fucking finally fixed Venge, which is the goblin vendor that you can craft potions as well as sell your unwanted accessories and items and stuff like that. This was huge. This was huge because it made it so that a lot of people who were struggling with gold farming now had a pretty decent way of getting income, because you get a lot of accessories that you might not need. So the fact that now we can sell our accessories, you might have items, you might have like an abundance of certain items that you can sell. This just makes it so that people now have more gold, which is very much needed, because there's a lot of gold that you need in this game to upgrade your Wayfinders, upgrade your weapons, craft Wayfinders, craft weapons, and then also upgrade those weapons, upgrade those Wayfinders, as well as crafting accessories, stuff like that. They're like, I made a video, I think my last video was talking about how much grind there was in the game, and I still think it's too much. I believe Sir Snarf had said in the dev live stream that they want players to show off their hard work in the game. But here's the problem with that. Here is where I say that there is a problem with that concept, is that there is no way to show players what we've earned by playing the game. When you go into a game like Final Fantasy XIV, when you see someone wearing the Eureka Elemental set for fending or maiming, that person went through fucking hell to get that set. When you see someone with a fully upgraded, final stage resistance weapon from Boja, that person went through fucking hell to get that shit. Or the Augmented Laws Order set. Or you see someone with any relic weapon, final stage of a relic weapon, that person went through hell and back to get that shit. You see someone with an ultimate weapon, that person went through fucking hell and back to get that shit. You go in World of Warcraft, you see people with, certain achievement pets, or you see people with certain armor sets that you can only get by doing like Mythic or, yada, yada, yada. You see someone with Invincible, that they at least farmed Invincible, or they got lucky and got it on their first try. Fuck you, by the way. But yeah, there are visual indicators to show people that, hey, I played this game and I farmed this game out. But Wayfinder doesn't have any of that. I don't even think there's a way to actually like check people's gear in the game. So really your hard work and your progress in the game is really like it's really only for self benefit. People can't see anything. People can't see, the accessories you farmed out, or the fact that you awakened, your Wayfinder fully or your weapon fully. People can't see that. So maybe we can see, weapons, or sorry, maybe we can see like skins for Wayfinders that can only be completed by doing, let's say, Sphere 4 of Dread Legion. I think that'd be cool. I think that'd be cool to see things like that. Or maybe you need to kill Dread Legion on Sphere 4 double mutator like 25 times. And you get like a really cool cosmetic piece for Nis or Kairos. You know what I mean? I think things like that, things that actually show people from a visual standpoint that, hey, I played this game. I farmed this fucking game out. Having weapon skins, stuff like that. I think that's going to be very important for, showing people that, hey, I played this game. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's just my personal opinion on that. I still think the game is too grindy, and with no way of actually showing people the grind that you put forth, then it really doesn't fucking mean jack diddly shit. Okay, I'm just being honest. Now that I talked about all that, and we had an interruption, I want to talk about the future of the game. I want to talk about 2024. One of the things I would like to see in 2024, of course, is Founder Season 2, which is, we know for a fact that we're getting Founder Season 2 in 2024. With that, we are getting a new Wayfinder, which is Grendel. I did a live reaction of his trailer. I believe it was from Tokyo Game Show when they showed it off, and he looks cool. He looks like he's about to be my main Wayfinder. I love Mommy Nis, big thigh Mommy Nis, but god damn, Grendel looks savage. Okay. I would also like to see the possibility of us getting swappable abilities for our Wayfinders, just so there is a lot more personalization and a lot more customization, as well as making each Wayfinder feel fresh. But that one I'm not really too worried about. I'll be honest with you, I can live without that one. I would like to see new weapon types. I've been wanting a bow in this game since the game first fucking came out. So I'd like to see a goddamn motherfucking bow. So hopefully we can see that. And by the way, anyone from Airship Syndicate, if you're watching this, I love you. I hope you're having an amazing holiday. I hope you're having an amazing break. But if you guys do add bows into the game, can I have a bow named after me? I know that might sound like super self-centered, but listen, I've been fighting for bows in this game since the game came out, and I'm gonna make a full-fledged video of me wanting bows, okay? But yeah, I would like to see new weapon types in the game. I think that's going to really just add a lot more flavor to the game. Of course, I would like to see UI changes. I would like them to even, make the UI more consistent. Bug fixes. Bug fixes are always nice. And I would like to see new content. I would like to see new content, like a new type of content for people to play, like something actually new and unique. Like I'm not talking raids. I'm not talking, raids, not talking another expedition or another. No, I want to see something new and unique, like something like, Palace of the Dead from Final Fantasy XIV, something like Delves. Maybe like open world dungeons that we can explore. Maybe they can have a quest line. Maybe they can have quest lines that reward weapons, like some fucking Excalibur, sword stuck in the stone type shit. Fucking Merlin, that would be badass. Sir King Arthur, like that kind of shit. That would be so badass if they had a storyline like that, like a side quest storyline that actually gives you a weapon named Excalibur. That would be awesome. That's the kind of shit I want to see in the game. But to kind of wrap things up, in conclusion, I guess you could say, I think the first like half a year-ish, not really, but I'm just going to say half a year-ish just to make it easier. I feel like as an end-of-the-year review for 2023 for Wayfinder, I think the game has made significant improvements. I think the game only really has nowhere else to go but up from here. But playing a game like New World, for me, when you have nowhere else to go but up, it's also really hard when you finally get to that high point to really figure out where to go next. And I feel like New World is a game suffering from that, where when we started out at launch, the game was so fucking bad that literally they could not have done anything else to make the game worse. All they had to do was add new content, fix bugs, stuff like that, and the game was going up from there in terms of its quality. And I feel like with Wayfinder, it's kind of the same situation, but once we hit that high point, it's really up to the developers where they want to take the game, and if they can, keep it up, keep at it. Because we see with New World, with their seasonal content, that they haven't been able to deliver. They said before seasonal content came out that with each season they wanted the seasonal content, the amount of content going into these seasons to get more and more and more. But we've seen with what they're doing that it really feels like they don't know what the fuck they're doing. And I'm really hoping that Wayfinder, when they get to that high point, and I'm hoping they get to that high point, that there is they have a direction. They know where they want to take the game. And I think that's going to be important. I mean, there's only so much I can do. I can only bitch about so much. But it's up to Airship Syndicate on where they want to take the game, their vision for the game. Because at the end of the day, I could be completely wrong about shit. Like, everyone has their own preferences and opinions. Some people probably like the grind in the game right now. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But I still think it's too much. I still think it's too much for the amount of resources that you need to put into these Wayfinders. I think it's too much. But that's what it's all about. It's all about opinions. I know this video was long. I wanted the final video of 2023 to be long and special. That's what she said. Anyway, I wanted to take the time again to say thank you for 2023. With 2024 over the horizon, I have very much a lot of things planned for the channel. I want to kind of, I want to make my profile picture as well as my channel picture as well as my channel banner. I want to change those, so I'm going to hire an artist at some point down the road to hopefully get that stuff done. That's probably not going to be until probably mid 2024, like summer. I'm going to do that. What else? I want to play more games on the channel, with games such as Throne and Liberty, Blue Protocol. I'm very excited for Path of Exile 2. I've been playing Path of Exile recently, and I have been having an absolute blast with the game. So I would really, really like to play that game on the channel. I'm not a Path of Exile expert. I'm just a guy who likes seeing a lot of enemies just kind of just die instantly. So yeah, but there's a lot of great things coming for 2024 for the channel, and I hope you guys stick around to see what's going on. And I, again, thank you to all of you who watch my videos and stuff like that. I genuinely cannot express my gratitude. I did not think the channel would get as big as it did. You know, I did not think I went from a 3 subscriber Andy to a 250 subscriber Andy. I have multiple videos with thousands of views, which is, you know, for a small channel like me, that's fucking insane. So thank you again so much. I hope you all have a happy new year. I hope you guys also had an amazing Christmas. I forgot to mention that. I hope you guys had an amazing Christmas. Have a happy new year, and I will see you guys in 2024. Bye-bye.